Good day, everyone, and welcome to Conversations of Courage. I am your host, our Chat Daddy Sims. I am the host and creator of the original Real Deal Ultimate Relationship Chat and the Real Chat Daddy Show, which is streamed nightly via six different social media platforms for your viewing and listening pleasure. Forgive me, you guys. You know, it's been a while since I've done any broadcast lately. I was out sick, but I am back, and I'm honored to be here today to continue these amazing conversations of surviving the COVID-19 pandemic. As you guys all know, this show is based on where did you find your happiness, your health, and your peace during the pandemic. And our next episode, we have an amazing lady who is joining us today. She is Ladrissa Bonivel. She is the owner and curator of Pro Fitness Chicago Studio. Did I get that right, Ladrissa? Pro Fitness? Oh, I didn't.
Fit Studio.
That's right.
Studio.
Pro Fit Studio Chicago. So take two on that, you guys. But here she is. Let me give you a little bit about Ladrissa. She's a world-renowned IFBB pro athlete. She's a health and wellness expert, and again, the owner of Pro Fit Studio Chicago. I've known Ladrissa for a number of years. She's an amazing person. She's very generous and about giving back to the community, but Ladrissa does not play when it comes to health and overall well-being. She and I recently met, and we were talking about some of the trials and tribulations that people face during the COVID-19 pandemic. And so, Ladrissa, first of all, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Every time I see you, Ladrissa, you look even more and more amazing. And I'm just so honored to have you here with us today. How are you, Ladrissa?
I am very well. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Beautiful. So, Ladrissa, I want to talk to you about what makes one become a pro fitness expert. I've known you for a number of years. You've always had what I consider just a wonderful body, but you have taken yourself to the next level. You compete all over the world. So please introduce yourself and tell the audience how you became the superstar we know as Ladrissa, the fitness expert.
So my journey began 21 years ago. Out of a little bit of boredness and wanting to do more. I was introduced to weight training and fell in love with it fast and furious. If I fast forward about 10 years or 10 years back from now, I was a traveling trainer. I went to people's homes, to their buildings, wherever they wanted to be trained, that's where I went. And then fast forward or rewind 6 years ago, I opened up Pro Fitness, Pro Fitness. So now you got me saying it, Pro Fit Studio.
See?
Oh my goodness. Like I don't even know my own place, Pro Fit Studio, 3700 South Indiana. So that I could have a place to train my clients that was ours. I often tell my clients, this isn't my place, this is y'all place. My name just on everything and I have to pay the bills, but otherwise, this is your place as well. So that makes them feel good and it also makes me feel good. My grandmother had colon cancer and I was a caregiver for her many moons ago, and watching her suffer, watching her strength, watching her determination through chemo, through radiation, through surgery after surgery, trying to make right the wrong, kept me, even in my teens and my 20s and my 30s, constantly thinking about how do I be better now that I know better. Mm-hmm. So when you search for information and you find it and you don't use it, so I used it. I use anything that I come across that I find applicable for my life that makes sense. I add it in as I can. The simplest things: drink water, eat better foods, get rest, move your body. These are just normal things that we're supposed to do. But a lot of times we forget, or we just plain and simply don't know.
Right. Or we neglect the duties that we're supposed to take care of ourselves. All right. Well, we appreciate that intro. You've always, as I said, been about the business. Now, I want to rewind the clock just a little bit, if I could, and go back to March 13th of 2020. Prior to that, we had heard about people who had come down with cases of COVID. We had heard about the first case here in the state of Illinois. We had heard about the first death to COVID, which was an African-American woman. But here you are with a beautiful place where your community comes out to work out with you. You have a wonderful tribe that I call of your cohorts that work out with you. But what resonated most with you when you heard COVID? On the 15th of March, the CDC recommended that everything closed down, no large gatherings, people coming together. What was your pivot and what was your thoughts on COVID?
So, all right. So, a week before I had to close, I actually had I also train others to compete. And I had two of my athletes in a very prestigious show. And we were like, are we going? Are we doing this? Did they call? Did they say anything? So we actually left here, suited and booted, got on a plane, went to Ohio, did our thing, and came back. When we came back, things hit the fan in a major way. And I can still remember my thoughts were not for me. My thoughts were for, I have to close my studio. How are my clients going to work out? Now, I don't just train, I, I, I call them urbanites. Um, I don't just train regular urbanites. The people that I train, this is their habit, this is their vice, this is how they get through to the next day. They need that workout. And me knowing that I could come here anytime can't stop me from coming into my business. So, but I can't have other people that I will tell you that depressed me in such, I was in tears that I was not going to be able to do my job, which is help my clients.
Right.
So once I got over that, and we did the cry and the kumbaya and all of that, we figured it out. So we closed on Friday. On that Monday, I had maybe been on a Zoom call here and there, but I had never facilitated Zoom. Well, we had Zoom accounts. We were on 3 times a day working out with our people. We had gathered everybody, gave them the ID code. I had lent out dumbbells and kettlebells from the studio and my flex bands, and whatever anyone wanted to borrow, I allowed them to come and borrow it because I didn't know how long we were going to be locked down. And I didn't want them, the hashtag that we created was not one damn pound. I did not want my clients to gain one damn pound because we are stuck in this situation.
Okay,
And
so
we
now
were
the
six.
drift away. I got to stop you there. Now, as you all know, we all went into the kitchen. We all started cooking things. We all started experimenting. First of all, you and I were laughing recently over coffee that, you didn't want wives killing husbands, husbands killing wives, children's getting on each other's nerves. So now, how do you tell people not one damn pound and we're all stuck in the house?
Yeah. So what? Because people are going to want to know. My thought process was my. Think about how often you spend with your spouse or with your kids. It's never, unless it's a Sunday or a Saturday, and then there's still some hours that you're away. I, unless they are an infant, when was the last time you actually spent an entire 24 hours with your spouse and your kids in the same house at the same time under the same conditions. I
Right.
knew what was going on. I knew what was going on. So we were on 3 times a day. We had a 7 a.m., a noon, and a 5 p.m. And I picked those times because those were kind of peak times that people get energy, people get cranky. You need something to do because you're bored. And so that kept a lot of people solid and together for a good while and moving around. Some people stuck, some people didn't gain a pound, some people excelled. Others they found comfort in food and liquor and in doing what they do as adults. So um, I did the best that I could to help, but it all boils down to the person and what they want to see happen.
Okay.
So
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. You know, a part of the conversation that we do here is about peace. It's the health and the happiness. And we're going to get to more of the health in just a little bit. But I do really want to go back. Even though you gave people that ultimatum of not one damn pound, you did realize, Ladrissa, how did you keep your peace in all this? I noticed you mentioned, look, Zoom. I noticed you mentioned I had to do the pivot. I had to do all of this. Where did your peace come in all of this? And did you fear at any particular point that you may contract COVID?
well, I'm a tiny bit of a germaphobe, so the precautionary measure that I took here at the studio, even at home, it was crazy. And I'm a by myself, but the I was afraid. I was terrified. Let's just be honest. I was terrified. I didn't know what it was. I didn't want it. Um, and I didn't want to be around anybody else who had it and then, passing it around. Um, it, it was a hard pivot. There were days that I would cry, but my peace came from there were two things that I did every single day. And one thing that I did was, even if it was for 5 or 6 minutes, I turned on the music that I like and I
Mm-hmm.
would just dance for
Mm-hmm.
about 5, 6, 10 minutes, just crazy, just, I'm
Yeah.
a house girl. So you just, whoa, no one knows that I do that, but I did that every day just to kind of make me feel like I have this extra energy just
Mm-hmm.
tingling through my fingertips. And that's what it gave me. So that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot go a day without my workout. So even though I wasn't in the studio or here, I was on Zoom. I was working out. I was doing my cardio. I still got up before my classes and did my workout. I'm a different type of person though, so I got my cardio in before my people, and training them did give me a lot of satisfaction, if you will,
Okay.
and making sure that they were okay more than, unfortunately, more than myself at
Okay.
that time.
Okay, very good. Now, I do want to talk about the health aspect of it. I know your regiment very well, that you only eat certain things on all of your social media profiles. You crack me up with the certain amount of almonds and a certain amount of this and a certain amount of that. What advice would you want to tell people? You know, just today we lost Colin Powell, just an icon, an amazing figure. He was fully vaccinated. He passed away earlier today. He clutched the pearls, He
And I
passed
got them
away
on,
early.
baby.
I know you do. I don't have mines on today, but yes, I would have mines on, clutch the pearls, and he passed away. So what would you want to tell us about being more healthy? Because again, this man fully vaccinated, a loved leader, and all of that. What health tips would you want to give us?
Um, I'm going to keep it real simple. The first thing is drink water Water, I'm not going to say it cures all what ails you, but your body needs water. If you have medications to take, if you have sluggish bowels, if things don't smell a certain kind of way, you need that water. You need to drink it. You need to drink plenty of it every day. The next thing that I would tell people is read the nutritional labels, like watch a YouTube video on how to read this nutritional label so that you know that a serving of almonds is 20 for, this amount of calories, and, how many milligrams of sodium. These are things that you, as the owner of your body, should know, because it takes certain things to make your systems run well or clog them up. The third thing that I would really recommend to people is to get heart healthy activity. So, regardless of your age or your fitness level, walking is, I always start with walking. Walk a mile, 2 miles, a block, whatever it is, start walking. And then you can do whatever you want after that. The last thing that I would tell people, or ask them to do, is lay off the alcoholic beverages, because
Oh
as
Lord,
we
clutch my pearls that I don't have on. But okay, yes, okay,
I know. Now, I didn't say quit. I said lay off.
okay,
If you know that, I'm gonna just throw a number. If you were a 5 drink a weekender, let's make it a 3 drink a weekender and throw some more water in there. Your liver and your kidneys, they need you to act right. And as we get older, they really need you to act right. So
okay.
those are the things that I would tell people right off the bat. Drink your water, learn about what you're eating. Heart healthy is key. And lay off the alcoholic beverages.
Okay. All right. Well, we're coming to the conclusion of this interview. I want to talk about the peace aspect. It's been a
Mm,
long journey going through this pandemic. A lot of lives have been lost. A lot of people have lost work. A lot of things that we were used to being normal are not normal anymore. And we're now living in what I consider a new normal. And so, Ladrissa, what words of peace and comfort would you like to leave with the audience today about just moving forward and being the best that they most possibly can be?
hmm. Well, in order for you to be the best that you can be, you need to make sure that you're taking the best care of yourself. And that is mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Wherever you are feeling a void, fill it with something positive, something energizing, something that makes you feel whole or almost whole again. As we navigate through these times, find an audio book of affirmations, or a positive thought of the day, and focus in on that. My last thing is, when you feel negativity or when someone is bringing negativity to you, stop them at the door and be like, you know what? Let's change the energy here, because I don't like how it's feeling. I don't like what you bringing. I don't like how it's feeling. And if that person is a true friend, they're gonna be like, you know what, friend, you are so right. Okay, let's go and do something different. So I encourage people to take just a better look at yourself and fill the voids with positivity, um, and get a new hobby, something that is energizing.
Very good, very good. Well, Adrissa, you got tons of great feedback from everybody today. We appreciate everybody joining us. I decided to do the Conversations of Courage live. These were filmed, but now they're really live, and we really do appreciate you guys. Matter of fact, fitness expert Mr. Tony Hill, who was one of the interviewees, he's on here giving shout outs as well too. Hello, Tony. We appreciate you. I did say to you the other day when we were having coffee that we need to do a Tony Hill and Ladrissa conversation. Didn't I say that? That I would love to have the two of you talk to me. I did. So I talked that into existence, I guess. Well, Ladrissa, how can everybody find and follow you? I'm going to put your website up here so that people can connect with you. Please tell us how we can connect with you.
Well, some people say that's difficult. However, if you go to my website, profitstudiochicago.com, it's profitstudiochicago.com.
Oh, Profit Studio Chicago. All right, let me edit that and change it. Okay,
That's
hold
okay.
on one second.
So
Profit Studio Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So say it for them again, please.
It's profitstudiochicago.com.
Okay,
so if you go to my website, all the information about the classes and the times and the cost are there. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can send me an email. I do get the emails, and either I won't even say I'm going to respond to you. Usually Ophelia will respond to you quicker than I will and get your questions answered, big or small. If you are connected with me on social media, I am Super Body Coach on Instagram. I am Ladrissa Bonivel on Facebook, and Profit Studio also has a business page on Facebook. So if you're looking for me, I ain't too hard to find, I promise.
She ain't too hard to find, you all. Give it up for the one and only Miss Ladrissa Bonivel, Profit Studio Chicago. She's a wonderful bodybuilder, all around great person. Thank you, Ladrissa, for taking time for having this conversation of courage with us, surviving the COVID-19 pandemic. And I look forward to more conversation with you in the near future. All right.
Absolutely. This was fun. Thank you so much, Art. Appreciate it.
Thank you, my love. I love you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for another episode of Conversations of Courage, Surviving the COVID-19 Pandemic. Our next guest is a master barber who grooms the entire family, but he also was someone who survived COVID-19, and he's going to share his experience. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be back with another episode of Conversations of Courage, Surviving the COVID-19 Pandemic. Bye, Ladrissa. I love you. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a second. Bye.
Hey.